Okay, you guys, we are back with another video. In this video, guys, we're gonna talk about DDG and India Love. They're back to using Halle's image likeness for some clout and attention. They're trying to compete with her and they're trying to pull some of the attention away from her. Let's talk about it, shall we? Because I've been observing a lot of things that has been going on, and I don't see anyone talking about it, and I don't see anyone connecting the dots, and I'm here to do that for you guys. Now, please note that some of what I'm about to say is, in my opinion, based on what was said as well as shared on the internet. Let's get into it. Now, if you guys are familiar with DDG, you know that he's Halle's baby daddy. He's a streamer and he's also a aspiring rapper. And I have to put it at that because I really haven't seen him on the charts. I haven't seen him on the charts anywhere. And I don't know his songs, to be very honest, but he definitely has his fan base who supports him, and they support him heavily. Now, also, we know that, he was with Halle, as I've said. Things ended messy between the two, but to the end, they have, come to some mutual agreements. Halle had a restraining order against DDG for an alleged assault. DDG had a restraining order against her for the very same thing. They were co-parenting together. They had to do it through the court because DDG believed that the offer that Halle gave him on the table was unfair. But when the case was taken to court, he realized that the court doesn't play like that, especially when you put your hands on the mother of your child. So DDG begged Halle to drop the case, let them co-parent in peace, and that is what is happening at this point in time. But there's something else going on. Now, I want to drag you guys' memory just a little bit. If you guys remember, last year I said to you guys, he's going to consistently ride on Halle's skirt tail when he realized that he's not walking the red carpets anymore with her, and he's not going to walk them by himself either, because the streaming world, they get famous, they make a lot of money, and they help a lot of, aspiring artists, even current artists, hip-hop artists, to extend and expand their career. But irrespective of that, I don't think streamers are given the respect that they deserve, or at least not as yet. It has, somewhat improved, but not quite there as yet. So as such, you know that streamers, they make good money, they live a good lifestyle, but they're still put in a box, they're cornered, right? So you might be asking what I'm getting at. Well, a couple months ago, DDG was saying that streamers makes a lot more money than a lot of these Hollywood celebrities, a lot of the movie stars and all of that. He was so intentional with what he said. And I'm like, here we go again. DDG throwing subliminal shades at Halle, or that's what I believe when he said that. While it may seem as though it's coming from a genuine place and it has genuinity and sincerity, I believe that DDG is still mad, still butthurt that Halle is not coming back to him. She has moved on with Scott Bridgway, and as such, in my opinion, I think he was throwing some type of shade there at her, because you guys know that for the past couple of months, she has been booked and busy, right? And we know that she has her new movie that is coming out, if it hasn't been released as yet, You and Me in Tuscany. So they were doing a lot of promotion. They were at the Winter Olympics, and that Halle and her co-star. So, as I was saying, Halle and her co-star, Regé Jean-Pay, they have been at the Winter Olympics. They've been promoting the movie heavily, and most recently, they did a photo shoot with a major fashion label. So Halle is still at all the red carpet events. I did a video talking about it, saying that she's still at all the major red carpet events. But you know who is not there anymore? It is DDG. And I said to you guys, even though she has decided to drop the court case and for them to co-parent together peacefully, he's gonna still ride on her skirt tail, and we're gonna see him throwing some little shades here and there because it is his nature. He really cannot help it. And as I've said, it doesn't mean that he's necessarily a horrible person, but everyone have ounces of narcissism in them, some of us more than some. And I think DDG has quite a significant amount that he's not afraid to show. And he's also very much egotistic as well. So you guys might be asking, what are you getting at with all of this information? Well, on April 1st, DDG shared a ultrasound image on Twitter, basically, insinuating that he's gonna have the baby with someone. But when you look at the image closer, it really gives that this is not real April's Fool. However, I believe that an opportunity arose from this, and DDG and India Love, they're taking the opportunity, and they are, now giving the impression that they are having a baby together. And I'm like, just imagine the timing, right? Because it was April Fool, you did a little April Fool's joke, and because people are so desperate to see DDG and India Love together, they believe they're gonna marry, irrespective of the fact that on so many different occasions, India Love came out and said they're not together. Even most recently, DDG, I mean, I don't know how people believe that they could be expecting a child together. Also, for the past couple of months, ever since last year, coming into earlier this year, we could see India Love repeatedly saying that she wants to have a baby. She wants to get married. She wants to have a baby. So when DDG shared that fake ultrasound photo on the internet, there were so many people that did not even realize that it was April Fool's. It was the 1st of April. It was a joke. The ultrasound image is a bit weird as well, but they ran with it and they were like, oh my God, DDG and India Love is, gonna have a baby. And many of them, they were going off and they were celebrating. So I believe that what is going on here really is that both DDG and India Love, they see an opportunity with this. So they see an opportunity to get the internet talking about them once again and going off about them. And I believe they're going to take this opportunity to, make fans believe that they might be having a baby together. Now, you guys might be asking, them doing this, what will this do for them? Well, if you guys know, as I've said, Halle's new movie, You and Me in Tuscany, premieres today. So you know that there'll be a lot of, heightened discussion around Halle this week into next week, and we're already at the start of a new month. So that's one entire month running. So if they can tap into Halle's algorithm, like what they were doing a couple months ago to get everyone and their mamas talking about them, it means that it's going to pull a lot more people to their streaming platforms, and that will translate to money and numbers. The numbers will also get them a lot more brand deals. So as such, I believe that they might be running with this to, ride on Halle's skirt tail. Know that Halle is having her trending moment for You and Me in Tuscany. And she also has a few projects also back to back this month and later on. So she's going to have a consistent year, and we might see DDG and India Love back together in collaboration. in collaboration, because that's what they did the last time. They led people to believe that there was something between them that did not exist. And when it was disclosed that there was nothing between them, it basically disappointed a lot of fans. So as such, I can see them doing it again, and I can see them centering this around that fake ultrasound scan that DDG shared on April's Fool, which is April 1st, that is, right? So I do believe that they might be using this moment to tap into Allie's trending moment, Allie's trending discussion, and they may do some what we call clip farming. Clip farming is when they use other people to put out specific discussions, like, for example, I see this happening right as we speak, wherein there are some critics who are saying, oh, India Love was live, and while she was on her live stream, she was saying that she's happy to be pregnant. She's going to quit smoking soon because she doesn't want to be in a situation like Krishan Rock. And in my opinion, that is given clip farming, because the video is quite the opposite of the caption. So I do believe that we definitely may see them using Halle's moment as some sort of personal gain to get themselves some attention in this moment. But let me know what you guys think. We're going to talk some more in the comment section. Peace.